All right, so who's going to be asking the questions?
It may come from all different directions.
All of us.
Yeah.
All of the above, yeah.
All right.
First, if you can just say and spell your first and last name.
Daniel
Wegner.
Wegner, W-E-G-N-E-R, Fire Marshal, Sedgwick County Fire Department.
Start off just by kind of walking us through what happened last night.
About 10 o'clock last night, we got a report of a possible explosion. Arriving crews found what was remaining of the structure on fire. Crews were able to put the fire out relatively quickly. We had reports that there may have been a person inside the house. The owner's pickup truck was parked in the garage, so it was here, and from what we were able to get from interviewing people was that if the truck was here, that the owner was probably in the house. After we had the fire extinguished, we were able to start doing some searching through the house. We were able to find a body at that time. We waited till this morning to exhume the body out of the basement. At this point, we don't have a positive identification of the body. We are going to presume that it was probably the homeowner and the resident of the house at this time. It looks like we could have had a propane explosion. Again, we're still under the investigation process to determine what happened and what caused this event to occur last night.
How did we gather that information about it possibly being propane?
The patterns of the debris and stuff. We have a very large debris area here. It goes several hundred yards around. It was a 360-degree debris pile. So by looking at the scene that we've got, we had some sort of an explosion. This house is provided with propane gas, so we're going down that venue to eliminate all possible causes of what occurred here.
But at this point, there's no reason to suspect foul play. It just appears to be a...
Right. Yeah, we're not expecting any foul play. We're not noticing anything on the body that would say that. An autopsy will be done on the body to confirm identity and to look for a palpable cause of death.
Can you explain what leads to, when propane is involved, what would lead to a propane explosion?
Gas leak into the structure and finding an ignition source, a pilot light, an arc, spark, whatever. And at that point, the gas ignites and creates an explosion. The explosion is going to be based on the amount of propane or product that's in the house and the concentration.
So at this point, in the investigation, it would appear that maybe you had a buildup of gas over some time inside the house, and then, like you said, maybe something like a pilot light might have been the ignition source.
Yes.
Potentially.
Yeah, that would be a fair statement.
What happens now? We've got a lot of damage and debris. Kind of walk us through the next steps of the process.
The next step of the process, the fire department and the state fire marshal's office will finish conducting our investigation. Of course, the insurance companies for the property owner, for the propane company, they'll come out and conduct their own investigations. So that's kind of where we're at as far as the following up process. Once that's completed, the property will be turned over to family members or some source to take care of the property at that point.
And because we haven't officially, I guess, identified the victim, is there any, there's no names or anything like that being released at this time?
Correct. I don't want to, I'm just speculating at this point. High probability that it was the occupant, but until I know, I'm not going to release any
But
names.
yeah, officials are not formally releasing the name at this point, correct?
Right.
To your knowledge, you lived here alone, correct?
Correct.
Any idea on when his name might be released?
No, not at this time.
Anything else you want to add?
No, that's it.
How long do you expect the process to go to identifying the person?
That's going to depend on when we can find some sort of medical records or dental records. We're in the process of trying to locate those, and that'll be done by the coroner's office. So that'll be up to the coroner, and once I get that information, I can probably release a name, or they will.
Any damage in either of the properties on the surrounding the location here, like to the north or south?
We're not aware of any. Nobody's reported anything at this point. So until I get some other reports, yeah, I think it was contained to the property.
Does that have anything to do with the type of explosion that it was?
Yeah, there's a lot of debris that was thrown, so we may have had a shock wave that may have broke glass, or fragments or projectiles hitting other properties and stuff. There is that potential.
Okay.
Any other questions for me?
Good.
How many fatalities in the county is this year?
Two, I believe.
When
This will
was
be our
it?
second.
Okay. When was the other one?
That was beginning of the first of the year.
Okay.